back to PittsburgHer, a collaboration between Jagoff and Pittsburgh Magazine. And we welcomed Bria already, but I'm just so glad that this is another one that she's here. Yay. And we saw pictures of the gorgeous baby, and we're so excited. So kudos to you yet again. You can find us on Pittsburgh Magazine's website or wherever you find your podcasts, as well as Jagoff's website. And we've loved the feedback on the things that we've talked about that you're interested in, but now we need more feedback from you because our bowl is getting a little
light.
Yeah. Yes. We call it the Steel Magnolia Bowl for multiple reasons, but I don't know which one of you is selecting today. I know we have a conversation first, but okay. Not yet. Bria,
Wait.
tell me this. Who are you feeling from Steel Magnolias? Are you grumpy? Are you underdoggy? Are you sappy? How are you? I don't know how. I won't ask Era.
I don't know.
No?
I don't feel like any of them
Okay.
today.
So it's not a Steel Magnolia Bowl today.
Yeah,
That's
you know
fine.
it.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be. But we came up with a conversation. We like to have some kind of like an, not an icebreaker, but a conversation that comes up a lot. Yeah, I hate icebreakers. But conversation that comes up or questions that come up often. And one of them, because we are approaching the holidays, whether we like it or not, we said like Halloween comes and then everything is happening from there. So everybody gets together with family, friends, coworkers, whomever. There's always a routine. How do you handle the conversations that come up that become awkward or potentially contentious whenever it's political or religious or things like even child, how are you dealing with your child rearing? Anything like that. Anybody have a method or a practice or a best practice to suggest? Kristy, you seem to like it. Should I start with you or no?
I mean, I always wear the same thing on Thanksgiving every year. It's a Fright Rags t-shirt with John Candy dressed as the devil and Steve Martin from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. And I feel like if you just put that movie on and tell everyone to shut the F up, that's a good way to handle it.
I love that advice. That's
There you go.
Wait, okay, 2 questions. 1, why that shirt? It's just you're a John Candy fan.
What, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles? It's a Thanksgiving movie.
It is,
the
yes,
Thanksgiving
understood.
movie.
But I mean, like, so you love the movie more than John Candy?
I love. If you haven't seen the I Like Me documentary, I wept.
You're the reason that I have it. That I told my family that's what I want to see. I saw you post about it.
That's amazing. So I mean, if you can't come together over John Candy,
what candy?
There's problems in your family that you cannot fix. So just do that and then go home. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to bring up any of that stuff.
Well, is there a subject that you refuse to talk about, or multiple? You just kind of are like, no, I'm just. Yeah.
Family's not like that. We're just too busy.
That's
eating.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just keep eating the whole time, and then
Yeah.
So.
Cool. How about you, Bria?
Yeah, we don't really get into like the.
Or you're all similar, maybe.
Yeah, we just all like. Everybody's too busy eating, or just like focusing on something else. Nobody wants to talk about politics or talk about awkward things. Everybody's just like, I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah.
So good to see you. I guess the only thing that is awkward is like getting asked the same questions over and over by different family members or, like every time a new person walks through the door, a new family member walks through the door, it's the same 5 set of questions.
Yep.
How are you? How are things? How's it been?
Yeah.
Like all those, it's like.
What about you in terms of the baby? Like, are you going to be a person who's like, yeah, hold the baby, or no? Depends. Yeah, I love that look.
It depends, because right now I'm okay with like my small group of friends coming over here and there, holding the baby, seeing the baby, but like in a big group setting, while everyone is just like so much energy going on in the room, I don't know, maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Yeah, you'll know when
it's RSV season.
Yeah.
That's a good answer. You guys have such good answers.
When Andy was born, I told everybody, Andy's birthday is November 8th, and I told everyone we were like coming home for Christmas, so he was going to be whatever, like 6 weeks old, and I was like, if you have not had your pertussis vaccination, your whooping cough shot, you may not come.
Yeah.
My mother-in-law, bless her heart, like made all the phone calls and was like, no, for real, if you haven't had this, you can't come because Sarah's bringing the baby and she says you can't come. So please tell him.
Well, it's good you had some.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
she
great.
backed
That's
me
how
up.
it should
She was
be.
like, yeah, that's no problem. She was also great where I was breastfeeding at the time, and she was very like, if you want to breastfeed here in the living room in that recliner, you breastfeed here in the living room in that recliner. And if anybody feels awkward, they can leave. Or if you want to go in the bedroom, you go in the bed. Like, you do whatever works for you and your baby. And I was
Also
like,
how it should be.
shout out, Bon. Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's
Yeah,
great.
it was great. It was really great to have that support.
Yeah, okay. And I just feel like I could put an answer in an envelope that you would be just fine with any conversation and contention. Or is there
Just
ever contention?
leave.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good
no,
one.
there is actually, you know what's interesting is I feel like in the later, like in the more recent times when it feels like we're so divided, nobody brings up anything ever.
Yep.
When I started dating Ryan, it was very like, we don't talk politics, we don't talk religion. Like, nobody brought it up. So I didn't even like really know where people were. And then kind of like in the Obama era, people started chatting and it was like, oh yeah, we're not all in the same camp here. So it just kind of went away.
Oh, okay.
And even when we get together with like Ryan's mom's side of the family, where most people are aligned, it's just like we end up talking about the kids or sports or movies or, you know, it just doesn't seem like a topic. And then now if it does come up and I don't feel like talking about it, I just leave.
Yeah.
Just like, no thank you. And, you know, like, I'm not going to be rude, but I don't need to.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah. I'm with you. I change the subject to the kids. You know, it's always easier because in my, like, they do like to talk about things that may not be the same opinion of everybody. But I do like to hear what everybody's opinions are. So I'm that person, like, I'm like, okay, I see where you're going with that. Yeah, and it's interesting because for me, my husband's family living in the north, often it's more like they'll ask me things about the city. Like, so he has a brother, and so we're the two Renebecks, and so one is north, and then they call us the city Renebecks, and I'm like, I'll take it.
City Renebecks, country Renebecks, like like the mouse.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Totally.
cute.
Yeah, but I mean, I like that. You know, I mean, and I'm in Ross Township. It's not like I'm not living in the city.
The metropolis.
I'm not. Yeah, exactly.
But compared to like
The capital of.
is he like in Butler
North
or
side.
something? I mean, compared to
It is a big difference. Yes.
Right.
Or
Yeah.
even like my lifestyle is very different than theirs. So they like to know what's going. And they're like, oh, the city Renebecks have a different take. So I'm like, all right, you know, which even led to my kids asking, which was one of the feedback points that we got was, I told you guys this before, but the episode when Kiki talked about is Pittsburgh welcoming. And then I ended up talking about being in North Hills and the difference with my kids and why it was important for them to play sports in the city. And this weekend when they were home, they were asking, why did we play, you know, for that league for so long? And I said, well, I thought it was so that you had a better understanding of people who weren't in your neighborhood, who
gotta
you
get
know
out of the
were
bubble.
get out of the bubble. But I said, but for your dad, it was because they just were better. Yeah. It's better competition. It's like it's just North Hills is so cutting it. Yeah. It was sort of funny. My husband was like, yeah, both good answers. Both good answers. Yeah, both good answers. So there you go. Anyway, well, good. They're very good advice. We change the subject. We leave. We wear good shirts, and we say no. The other thing, you made me think of it, it's sort of funny. My middle son, who is much like Sarah also, now in college, told me that I asked too many questions. So you said, like, when it's the same five, and he goes, hey, you're hitting that number 3. So that's it. You've hit your...
That's me.
You're like Macaulay Culkin and Uncle Buck.
That's me. Yep.
You know, yes, exactly. Actually, my husband says it's Ralph Macchio. Because do you remember Ralph Macchio asked 8 million questions of Mr. Miyagi?
Oh, well,
It was constant. Yeah.
Well, Mr. Miyagi was very vague.
It was vague.
Cryptic.
It's less. It was very nice. Right. Really pay through it. Was wise. All right, Freya, be wise. You don't have to name the bowl. Just read the question.
All right, let's see what we got here. Picked from the bottom.
I did that too. Good luck. Luck. It looks long.
Okay, good one. Should college education be free? If so, should there be parameters to make sure the free system isn't abused? I mean, it definitely should be not
Yes.
what it is.
Amen on that.
Maybe, I don't know. I think it could be free. It could be. It should be, honestly.
Why do you feel that way?
Because we're in a society where we're expected to work and put out a certain type of human being and citizenship, and you know what I mean, like, just we're supposed to support our country and our all of this and that, and we can't do that when when we're not expected all the same level of education and given the same type of experience. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody else is getting more education than me because they can afford it and I can't, then we're just bound to not have the same experience. But how are we expected to get like the same job or give out the same type of level of humanism?
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it should be just based like healthcare. Well, it should be free. So yeah, if it's something that's a requirement based off of rules and regulations that the country tries to put on us, then yeah, it should be regulated the same for everybody. So that's my answer.
All right, that was a good answer, Kristy.
Yeah, I think you should want to better yourself by educating yourself, but when you're saddled with student loans after the fact, like, I mean, I was an English major. There was like a lot of job prospects for me.
Sorry.
And I was really scared because I had all this debt and I really didn't have any marketable skills. But I just felt, I don't know, like, I think if it was free, you would have more, I don't know, it would just be easier to be able to do what you wanted to do without, like, sometimes, like, a lot of people were telling me to, like, follow a different track so I'd get a job, but I didn't want to do that because this is what I wanted to do. So I feel like,
But isn't it also dependent on what you want to do? Because that is true. I mean, and I think we can't assume that everyone wants to go to college.
no,
So I
trade
think
schools and,
Yeah.
you know, that's,
Well, and that's
They're not free either, though.
Right.
they are. Yeah, the trades are free. The trades are free, and that's where I was going with it. Is that you get a free education,
Yep.
so you are trained on site on the trades.
Define
If you
the
go
trades.
union trades are free, and so you go into it and you're completely debt free. And I'm not trying to pitch because I do full disclosure work with trades, but I think that there's an element there that is interesting because I am a product of going to school, paying back student loans, which I agree it's burdensome. But I wouldn't want to go into the trades. Like, as I'm doing the work for the trades, I have no interest in any of it. Kudos to the women who do. I love seeing a woman go out there and want to do it because you can. It's not my jam. So it's sort of unfair in that way that, like, that's free for learning. But I don't want to go that path. I want to go this path where I want to write. And so now I have to pay. I think there's not equity in what is offered.
Well, and there's also union jobs like being a nurse or being a teacher, and that's not free. Those aren't trades. So, you know, like, you want to go be a third grade teacher, you're going to be saddled with all this debt. You have to go have a degree in English or early education or something.
Sure.
And then you have to, you know. So I also feel like the definition of what a trade is super flawed. Medical school is incredibly expensive, right? But, like, what's your alternative? We're just not going to have well-educated doctors. Like, that's bananas. Like, obviously we're that's not going to happen. And so I just feel like, where do you draw the line between what you have to pay for versus
Sure.
what's free?
Well,
because it all,
And who determined it to become so expensive? Because where did that, I really don't know. I mean, where did it go from
private colleges,
not feasible to where it is? Yeah.
yeah. And
But I'm also interested to see where it's going to go because there is a decline in students in schools. Like, there's mergers happening.
yeah.
You know, what is it? Edinburgh.
North.
Yeah. So where does that
Penn
go?
West.
Penn
Yeah,
West.
Penn
How are
West.
you?
Did you
Okay.
go to Cali?
Yeah.
Calhoun?
So what? I don't know. I just am anxious to see. I don't know that I think it shouldn't be, but I think that there needs to be a better look at the system and how. right? Like paying back this kind of debt is not making it a feasible living. Like I think what I hear you saying is if you're and I use my oldest son as an example at Penn State, it's ridiculous. But I then use the excuse that the field that he'll go into will be feasible for him to pay that back. But it shouldn't be that.
Sometimes it's not even that.
It shouldn't be. Correct. I'm saying in his position it is, but it shouldn't be that. And so I then say to my other two children, I wouldn't choose Penn State if you're not choosing that particular. So back to equity in the sense that, so if I want to be a teacher and have a huge job in educating our youth, it's not feasible for me to go to a school like Penn. I'm just using Penn State as an example because I could never afford that, or it would take me forever to pay back the debt.
Right.
So I think the system is flawed.
Yeah.
Right? Do you see what I'm saying?
For sure.
So I don't know that I'm against it being paid for. I just think that it needs to be looked at, and where does it go from here, and why is it so expensive? I think there's other questions.
And I think, there is something to be said with having to put something in. I don't know if that's right. Because you always have this with free shows where, you RSVP and, you have 100 people who say they're going to come and you have a 50% drop off because you have nothing invested. So absolutely tuition is way out of control. It needs to change. But I think in rethinking the way the system works, I think some sort of investment is wise. Because it made a difference.
It's an accountability.
It's an accountability thing.
That's true.
But
you can't have budget cuts everywhere.
Correct.
Then
Right.
no budget cut in the tuition. It's wild.
Yeah.
I feel like AI is gonna do weird things to college anyway. Is it even gonna? I don't know. Exist?
There's schools that are using AI as teachers. There's AI-led schools.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now.
Or at least classes.
It's and whole schools. There's a woman, actually, I forget where, but she's literally built a school she's proposing, doing this whole proposal thing, trying to get more money for it. But it is out there, it exists, and there are students enrolled currently where the teachers are AI bots, and
What?
Yeah, they're all AI generated classes. It's wild. It's a real thing, and there's no real human teacher involved. And the humans that are in the classroom aren't called teachers. They're called like learning guiders or something. Yeah, something like that. They're just guiding their learning, but the class is primarily all AI taught.
Is it free?
No, it's like a private school, and they have to pay for it. But that's why she's trying to get all this funding for it, to lower the cost, to get more students, and blah blah blah. But it's just you can't have all of these other things happening, and then tuition just be through the roof. Nobody can afford it when we also have YouTube University.
Yes.
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 That's all these free learning things out there. We have ChatGPT, you can ask it anything. That's why she's doing this, just to prove that point. It's not really a need for school anymore, especially, and jobs aren't even hiring people based off of their degrees anymore.
Depending on something. I want some nurses to go to
some real school somewhere. And when you brought up medical school, that's my point too, because you're right. There's certain professions, that's unfortunate to say, but there are certain professions.
For sure.
And I agree with what you're saying in that you get what you're putting in, and there is a value to, but so again, I say
$80,000 a year.
And that's why I think the system needs to be looked at versus the fact of whether or not it's paid.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I completely agree. The accountability is the piece that's crazy. Good question. Kudos.
That was a good one.
Yeah,
they wrote
Sarah
her
gave
name
snap.
down. Do you want me to
Sure.
rewrote it? Her name was Sarah Gibson. So shout out to Sarah Gibson.
Sarah Gibson.
Love her. She's from Nothing But Cakes in the North Hills.
Yes.
Yeah, she's fantastic. That's such a good question. I'll have to tell her.
That's a good business to talk about too.
Yeah. Yes.
I love
That's a great business to talk about. Oh, their buntini are so good. No, we need them for next time. Okay, so Sarah, anybody, any new thing that you want to shout out, person, woman owned, or one in general?
Yeah, I mean, always. I'm going to go outside of the Pittsburgh bubble
Yeah.
for a hot second.
Yikes.
Shout out, I know, right? But I'm going to a conference on Thursday in Chicago for this podcast called I Hate It Here, which I think I've shouted out before.
Yep.
But it's run by this woman named Heba Youssef, and she's based out of Northern Virginia, and she's just all about making HR easier and more people-centered, and she's so smart. Her newsletters are so funny. They have a million like gifs and emojis, and they're just fantastic. So shout out to her, and shout out to your HR people wherever y'all work. HR doesn't have HR.
I'm HR.
So yeah, Rach is HR for the Jags. Yeah. And John's also HR?
No, John's finance. Yeah.
No, oh, okay, great. Okay. Great.
We're in a bad way, guys. There's no good team. There's no Jagoff. I meant for me, John. John is great at finance. It's me. It's the HR. Yeah, it's not easy. But you're right. It's not easy. That's the point. I need to figure it out. Yeah.
So anyway, shout out.
Good shout out, Bria.
I'm gonna shout out Lee Pugliano from the Equity Impact Center here in Pittsburgh. Right in Uptown is where the office is, and they basically find different ways to support different minority groups, and specifically Black women, specifically people of color. They have a music program where I have that scale, drop scale.
Yes.
But the scale program specifically gives artists money to fund their music and different teachings, and find different instructors, different things that they probably couldn't do without a lot of the funding. So it's just a really good program to be a part of, or to help to give back to. So yeah, shout out to the Equity Impact Center. They do a lot for the city of Pittsburgh, and Lee herself is just, she's like, I couldn't say any more about her.
Yeah,
she's phenomenal.
I will echo that. I know we shouted out Sweetwater in our last episode, but they're working with Lee and Equity Impact Center and have been for about a year, because another thing that she does is she'll work with organizations that are in communities that are, have not been particularly welcoming to historically marginalized folks, and work with those organizations on breaking down those barriers, training their staff, training their board, training the community, asking the right questions, how to reach, in this case with Sweetwater, it's how to reach artists, having conversations with them about what they need, and not just like assuming that, we're going to come in and give you all these things. It's like, actually, I need some help with marketing and a pottery wheel on a regular basis. You're like, oh, thought you needed potpourri, like whatever it is. And she's so graceful. She's so, because
That's a good word.
Those
That's a good word for her.
really tough conversations, right? I mean, like, you're walking into these communities being like, okay, now you have to own the fact that this is where you came from.
Yeah.
And she's so good at it. She's so skilled.
She is definitely the queen of that.
She has a way with words, and graceful is definitely a good word for her. And I love that music is so important to her, because she also teaches steel pan. And that's another part of her. Yeah.
Comes from her background. Her dad was literally the steel pan creator. Like, for all steel pans in the United States.
That's how I met her, because I booked her band for
Solomon
draft
family.
a million years ago.
I knew her we were pregnant at this. We've been friends for a lot of years. And
Because
I'm actually proud to say I introduced her back to Christine at Sweetwater, because I felt that her work is just, it's contagious. I mean, she's just that person that you want to know. She delivers good, and kudos to her. So
Yeah.
Kristy, you have to meet her.
I do.
That's what's next.
We'll have her on the show.
Yeah, there you go. So that's another episode of Pittsburgh Her. Again, thoroughly enjoyed that question, so we encourage you to give us some more. We were missing Bria, but she's back. Now we're missing Dr. Jocelyn, so
It's all right.
is this where I can say that we can add something for her? And now, a piece from Dr. Jocelyn. Anyway, I had to do it. Anyway, if you're looking for where to find us because you stumbled upon a clip or something like that, follow us on Instagram, PittsburgHer_5. We're getting more followers. I love seeing that. Monica, shout out to Monica, speaking of shout outs,
Yes.
because she does an amazing job with the social media and finding the perfect clips.
Making us sound good.
It somehow made it back to my family that I wanted to be a Playboy bunny. So thanks to Monica. Nice.
Yes.
There's that. So thanks for following us. Check out all episodes wherever you get podcasts or Pittsburgh Magazine's website or Jagoff's website. And Sarah, do you have anything to say?
Just, we'll see you next Tuesday.
And this is a really great question because this happens to lots and lots of women. As a urogynecologist, I see this in my office every day. So there's a lot of reasons that women suddenly have a really significant urge to get to the bathroom. And the classic story I hear is they kind of pull into their driveway or they're approaching their front door and all of a sudden they just have this overwhelming urge to go, and sometimes they don't make it in time. And what's happening there is you have this brain bladder connection that forms through habit over time that leads to your bladder actually having a spasm or squeezing, which is what it's naturally supposed to do when you're sitting on the toilet, but it's doing it without your permission, without you being actually in the bathroom with your pants down. So there's a lot of things that can lead to that. Weak pelvic floor muscles are one of them. Perimenopause is one. Any medical issue that you have that's not well controlled, like diabetes is a great example. Other things could be that you're drinking too much coffee, drinking too much alcohol, drinking too many like artificial sweeteners, too many acidic foods or drinks. Mostly anything but water can, in some people, act like a big bladder irritant. But some people, we don't really know what causes overactive bladder or urinary urgency, and we can treat those things with a variety of medications, both topical hormones like vaginal estrogen, pills, pelvic floor therapy, and bladder retraining, and we can even do things like Botox to help women get control back over their bladder.